This week on the Parkiton we go through the World Indoor Bowls Tournament, a little bit of a cheeky tournament recap on a Sunday Pairs Day, and I've got a special surprise for my co-host. All that and more coming right now. Yes, hello, welcome to the one, the only, the greatest lawn bowls podcast in the world, done by two dudes in their rooms remotely. My name is Riley. I play Div 5 West, which means I am the resident expert on this here podcast. But joining me is the enigmatic, the automatic, the systematic, the absolute machine that is Mr. Jimmy.
Hello, Riley. How's it going?
I am fucking stoked. That's right. First F-bomb of the podcast out of the way. We can swear now.
Feels like I haven't
Excellent.
talked to you in like forever. We haven't been swimming. We haven't seen you in like a week and a half, I think now.
Yeah, well, you were too busy going elsewhere and getting engaged. You lucky duck. Congratulations.
Mate, it's been hectic. I was so nervous. I almost forgot to put the ring on her finger.
Oh, that's actually so peak.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's basically been my week. But yeah, ready to get into some bowls. Talk about some indoor bowls, some outdoor bowls. All things bowls.
A little bit of indoor, a little bit of outdoor. We're doing some... because this is actually the first show, we probably should go down exactly what actually happens on the Parkiton podcast. You know, we actually have some structure, unlike those fuckers touch her in the ditch, those bastards.
Fucking touch her in the ditch.
Those absolute assholes. I can't believe they... Can you imagine just being so, like, audacious as to exist with a name like Touch Her in the Ditch? Like,
yeah,
what an awful podcast name.
Awful podcast name. Who would come up with a name like that? Unbelievable.
Some absolute fuckwit. Anyway, the way that Parkiton works is basically we say hello at the top of the show as per usual, and then we've got a few match reports. So I play Pennant Bowls on the weekends, but we also play on a Night Owls team on a Thursday night. And so we're going to basically just give you a little bit of a rundown of what's going on, a little bit of an update on the actual season of how our mighty Night Owls Bowls team, the Terry Termites, are actually going. Among other names that it's been given by the administration. We'll have a top story and a little bit of other business, and then we say, please click the subscribe button and send us emails, and then we say goodbye. And that's basically the show. So without any further ado, Mr. Jim Meister, I think it's time we got into the Pennants match report.
Yep. All you.
Oh, yeah. So I play Difee Pennants. I play... primarily second, so we're assuming that this is a bowls somewhat knowledgeable podcasting audience, but just in case you're not super familiar, we can go through a cheeky little rundown of the positions real quick. So you have your lead, who delivers the object bowl, also known as the jack, also known as the kitty, also known as the little white thing. They start us off with a couple bowls and then their direct opponent, and then you have the second, who bowls second, funnily enough. They're responsible for keeping the scorecard. Then you got the third, who's responsible for measuring the end, declaring what the score of the end is, and also providing a little bit of skipping information to the actual skip. And then, of course, you have the skipper, who is the captain, who stands on the other end of the green from the rest of us plebs and sort of hangs out and has their own conversations. I don't typically play a lot of skip in Pennants because I'm younger than 60, and so the constant advice is chuck him at lead, chuck him at 2, as is the Pennant bowling way. But yes, I was playing third in this most recent Pennant match. We didn't play last week because of Australia Day, and so we instead skipped a week. We're back this week coming, but the most recent match, Pennants, Grange played the mighty Westlakes team. Now, this Westlakes team are formidable. They genuinely are some of the best bowlers I have had the pleasure of playing against. And the rink in particular that we played against had not lost a single game all season, which is insane on a run of Saturday Pennants. There are a couple of people in there that were like top of the actual league personally. even though their team is second, the individual players, because they just haven't lost, were top of the individual rankings, which is just crazy and a massive achievement to them. We love that for them. That said, we fucking beat them 22-30. Woo! Suck eggs.
Get amongst it. Up the Dolphins.
Up the mighty Grange Dolphins. Yeah, so Grange, for reference, is ranked 5th in the league. We're pretty okay. You know, on our day, we are well beaters, and we were certainly on our day last Saturday. 22-30, very strong opposition, like I said. The funny thing is, right, we only lost like 5 to 6 ends the entire game, but they were expensive ends, you know, like to win by 8 and still only have dropped like 4 or 5 ends. We were dropping like 4s and 5s and stuff, including a 5 on the very first end. Jimmy, I know you weren't personally there, but I felt my heart drop straight down through 2 knackers and then straight back up again because there was a job to do. But, you know, we were just consistently putting them in there, getting our 1s and 2s, got a couple 3s, and it was a pretty good day out, you know? I personally am very happy with how I played, which is a fucking rarity. Don't get used to hearing that one. You know, I had a bit of a slower start. The greens were a bit tricky. We were playing a ditch rink, which for the uninitiated basically means sometimes on the very edges of lawn bowls greens, also known as the ditch rink, it can just be a bit strange and doesn't play as the other rinks on that green particularly would. This one in particular was super, like, narrow on one hand and heavy on the other, but, like, not inconsistent with the rest of the green or the wind. So that was a fun one. But I am very happy with how I played. I got to use my entire repertoire of shots, utility shots, draw shots, weighted shots. I didn't get to have a full-on drive because we were never in that sort of position. I was mostly just sort of shoring up what was going on. But, you know, I'm pretty stoked with how that went. Yeah, and that's the Pennants recap. Up the mighty Grange Dolphins.
Yeah, no, sounds like an unreal day. I think you even told us about that when it happened, that it was just an unreal day and everyone was firing and everyone was on all cylinders, really. But yeah, 5 on the first end. Like, I know the feeling because we've done it a lot in Night Owls, and I think it happened a bit on the Sunday that we're about to talk about. But yeah, to sort of bounce back from that and come in at 8 shots up at the end of the day is pretty solid, I reckon.
Yeah, it was, like I said, it's just one of those days where everyone was just doing their part and we all came together, and our consistency and our teamwork really sealed the deal for us. And we're going to back it up next week. Unchanged team going in. I didn't look up who we're playing, which I really should have. I'm just going to pull up the Metro Bowls Association website real quick. Give me the pennant results, please. Boom. We're playing Somerton at home, which is going to be great. Somerton, it's their 5th team. Typically when a club has more than like 3 teams, if you're playing their 4th and 5th and they're like in Div 5, you're cooked. Absolutely cooked. And per the ladder position, Somerton are coming in 4th. Granger 5th. We're in stopping distance of them now. You know, we had a pretty happy hunting ground out at West Lakes, but you know, Somerton didn't have a great day last week out. I can see that they, in fact, got done by Woodville, who are 3rd in the league. So it's a real, like, high parts of the ladder sort of endeavour here. But yeah, Woodville took out Somerton. We took out West Lakes. So instead of it being, you know, a 20-odd point difference between 4th and 5th, it's now only 5 points. So if we get up, we'll probably leapfrog them into 4th, and then depending on how Woodville play against Henley, then it may be a very interesting time out, although Henley are ranked below Grange on the ladder. But that really doesn't mean super heaps. In middle table bowls, so like anywhere from like Div 3 down, teams can change week in, week out, and there are so many like talented bowlers that are like finding their home and finding their footing that, you know, to point to it and say, oh, these people are here on the ladder, typically it's not going to have that as much weight as if you were saying it about the Prem League, just because like there's that much difference in the team week to week. You know, any team in this league could take anyone out Novar Gardens are sort of running away with it at the minute, which is fine. We love that for them. But look, we've been recording for 5 fucking minutes, and I'm already gonna get into my little Adelaide grudges against certain bowls clubs. We love Adelaide. No, look, Novar Gardens are a very solid team. They have a very distinct home field advantage, is the very polite way I'm going to put it. And they really probably shouldn't be in Div 5 with the quality of bowlers that they have on their team. So they are absolutely stomping. I reckon they've only lost 1 game for the entire year. They've only lost 1.
I had no idea where Novar Gardens was.
Novar Gardens is just off Anzac Highway. So
I see now. I just had no idea.
Yeah, they're like a combination lawn bowls and pentunk club.
Oh, Para Hills is like that.
Yeah. But very solid bowlers. I'm not super sure what they're doing in Div 5. Like, I don't know if they got bundled out of Div 4 or whatever, but they're too good to be in Div 5. Power to them, my dislike of their green does not translate to a dislike of their club. Fucking power to them. Go well, but not too well against the mighty Grange Dolphins. Anyway, let's move on to the Night Owls match report. Now, unfortunately, this is me again.
Yeah, I wasn't here. I was too busy in Melbourne.
Someone was too busy getting up the courage to drop the knee. But yes, often when we play, what Jimmy will do is he'll make a graphic up of, who we played and the score lines just for our friends, because we got friends all around Australia and they like to know what's going on. And I unconsciously have sort of been relying on that ever since. So I don't know what team we played in game 1 this week. But what I do know is they were down a player, so Dicko, who is the organizer, actually filled in for them. And Dicko is a third or a skipper either in my division or the team above me. Very, very good bowler. And this brings us to one of the interesting little things about Night Owls, which is where do you put your good players? Like your pennant bowlers, your skilled individuals, if you will. Coming into the season, I was very adamant that I was only going to play in the lead position, because one, I don't think lead teaches enough of the game to people who are looking for a intellectual outcome. And what I mean by that is basically when you play lead, you have 3 bowls all in a row that have essentially no strategical complexity other than get it close and get the kitty roughly where your skipper wants it. Whereas if you're playing 2 or 3, you have different situations to react to. You have to learn how to read the head. You have to work out what you're actually doing. And so far be it from me to say that, lead bowlers are not skillful. This is plainly untrue. I just think for brand new developing bowlers, I think the skill of leading is best suited to a later development, not their first exposure.
I think you've hit the nail on the head there, honestly. Just from the half a season of Night Owls I've played, I think I've learnt more playing in that 2-3 role than I feel like I probably would have done in that lead role if you'd been a skipper or done sort of what you're comfortable in that 2-3 position.
Yeah, I mean, to an extent, the competitive man in me is going, well, if I played skip or even just 3 and kept skip the same, how many games could I impact more than the amount that I impact the games now? And it's a non-zero amount. This is true. Our wonderful friends, we love them dearly. Everyone's coming from very different sporting backgrounds and, physics backgrounds and just sort of interest backgrounds as well. Some people are going to be keen to play one game and then go home. Some people are going to be keen to play both games and they're super into it. Softy's the big one for that one. Love him to pieces. He plays skip for us. He's sold. He's into it with his little fucking bowling glove and everything.
Oh yeah, can I talk about the bowling glove for a
Absolutely
second.
talk about the bowling glove.
For those, I mean, it's probably going to confuse everyone because like none of us had heard about it before we'd seen it. So I don't even think any bowlers who'd listen to this would know what it is, because everyone we've come into contact with at the club has no idea what it is. They think he's wearing a golf glove. And it looks like a golf club. It looks like a golf club that goes on your dominant hand from the top, but then you turn it over and it's got like little nub grips on them. And it is sold by Drake's Pride, which is like one of the top 4 bowls companies out there. The story behind it is that our friend Softy, he got into bowls. Riley then gave him a set of bowls, and in the idea of, I've now got a set of bowls, but I don't want to lug around like a box, his wife bought him a bag and like a bunch of accessories that she looked up online. And during that, she came across the idea of a bowling glove. And all it is it's basically like, it replaces your grippo. Like, it replaces a way to control the ball, but you just put it on your hand rather than like applying it. And again, like the moment we all saw it, we all laughed. But he now swears by it that he has got more control than he did previously. So I don't know. Maybe it works. Maybe I'm not going to use one. I'll full disclosure. you say that until we have
you
Terry
say that.
Termite.
Season 2 of the Terry Termites, sponsored by Drake's Pride Bowls gloves.
Yeah, we've got Terry Termite gloves coming out. Yeah,
just stamp a TT on the back. Oh, that's a hot merchandising opportunity right there.
Rip it and ship it.
Absolutely. But yes, to bring it back to the actual structure, dare I keep us roughly on task as to what we're doing. We played against a team that needed an extra person to fill in. Dicko filled in as the skipper. Wonderful timeout. Loved playing against the boys. Super cool people. We got fucking demolished. 3-13 was the final scoreline, so we lost by 10. It was just sort of, the vibes were a bit off with that game. I think everyone sort of noticed it in my like demeanor, especially towards the end of the night, where I was just sort of like kind of grumpy, which I'm not normally like at a bowls night out. I'm sort of chipper and like I'm mouthy, as everyone's well aware. I'll freely encourage everyone and talk your ear off, but I was just sort of cooked. I don't know if it was like a long week or whatever, but the vibes were just a bit off. But we lost by 10, and it's night owls, it's not that deep. And we moved on to game 2 against a team whose real name I don't know. I only know them as the tradies, in brackets, the team that lost to us when I was dressed like a banana.
So, are those the guys that have the bloke with the dreads?
Nah, that's a different dude.
I know I think I know the guys you're talking about now. I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the younger dude that has like the beard and like the shaved head. Not fully shaved, like it's a buzz cut.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool dudes. Really cool dudes. But after that absolute demolishing 3-13, we were sort of on the warpath a little bit, and we've often run into this over the course of the Lawn Bowl season, where we've played a game and we've win or lose, whatever. We come into the second game and the people we're playing are like locked in. They're kind of annoyed because they've lost either really, really close or it wasn't close in the slightest, and they're just like, nah, stuff these Terry Termites bastards. We're going to really pump them here. And they're just like parking them on and sending these bowls down, which, power to them. But we've never really been in that sort of situation because we haven't really had a loss where I've been like, oh, that doesn't feel good. Like, we've lost, obviously. We're a team of brand new bowlers and me. But every loss that we've had has been sort of like a learning moment, whether we've made a poor decision on our shot selection or we're just not experienced with bowling yet. Everything's been sort of been able to be compartmentalized away as like, okay, we've learned from that. Time to play the second game now. But like this week, I think everyone sort of felt similarly, where we were like, actually, you know what? Fuck these guys. We're going to really stomp them here. And so we did. We lost like 2 ends of the entire game, and we won 12-2. So fuck them. I love them dearly. But yeah, fuck them. We won by 10, which means net score for the day was a 0, which, you know, looking at our scorelines at the start of the season, old Jimster, that's a win. That's such a massive fucking win.
Massive win.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the crew looked good. We've now got our shirts.
Oh, Jesus. The shirts. Yes, we have our shirts, finally. They were supposed to arrive before Christmas. They did not arrive before Christmas, my dear listeners. No. We went with an Australian company because I was like, you know what? Support somewhat local. I put the design through them. I paid them the money. Everyone like paid for their shirt or whatever. And then I just didn't hear from them for a few weeks. And I was like, oh, it takes a few weeks to get it done. And then I got closer and closer to Christmas. And I went, I'm just going to like send an email. So I sent an email. Heard nothing back. So I sent another email. Heard nothing back. Christmas comes and goes. I'm like, oh, it's okay. We were going to push it, whatever. Get to the end of December. Send another email. Hear nothing back. And it's at this point that I'm going, you know what? The likelihood of me personally, with my, shall we say, online experience, getting like fully just swindled and scammed is low, but it's still there.
Yeah, I mean, you hear that with a lot of people. It can just happen.
Like, you know, the website looked legit. All of the invoices looked legit. You know, they had a real retail, like, brick and mortar location. I was like, cool. If it is a scam, it is the most intricate, like, high-effort scam possible. And honestly, at that point, you know, I still want my money back, but I'm impressed. So I rang him up towards the end of the year. I was like, look, this is what's going on. You know, I want to figure out what's going on for it. Like, what's happened to my order? And the dude that answered me was like, cool, give me 5. I'll chase it up and I'll ring you back. 5 minutes goes by. 10 minutes goes by. 15 minutes goes by. I'm like, I know that Perth is a fair few hours behind us, but I'm pretty sure 60 seconds here is 60 seconds in Perth. So I ring back, numbers engaged. I ring back again, numbers still engaged. I'm like, shit. I reckon I've been swindled, boys. And it's as I'm like filling out the paperwork for a credit card chargeback that I remember there is one contact in the company that I haven't personally emailed because they are part of the design team. So I send them a cheeky email, be like, hey, no one else is answering my emails. What's going on? And the shirts arrived on my doorstep 2 days later. So I think the moral of the story really is harass the art department. Yeah.
Oh, harass them. Yeah, sure.
The art department gets shit done. If you have a problem that needs to be solved, speak directly to the art department. Fuck customer service. Fuck billing. Fuck like their info triage email. Just go straight to the design team and they'll fix all your problems.
All right.
This is not real advice. Don't do that.
I might take the helm of the season report then.
Absolutely.
I've been around.
You have been around.
But yeah, so honestly, the season this year, I don't actually know how long we've got left, but we're looking pretty good as a team. It's kind of awesome. Again, as Riley said earlier, like, he was really the only one before this season to seriously pick up a bowl. Like, I think some people had done, you know, work functions or like Bucks parties or that sort of affair, but this was the first time, you know, we're going, okay, this is a league, we're showing up every week, we're bowling, we're having a good time. And so, yeah, as Riley said earlier, we've had a couple of pretty rough losses, going up against, you know, the likes of Stretchers, who out of like the past 7 years have won it like 5 times or something.
Yeah,
at that
and
point
runner up the other 2.
Yeah, at that point it's smurfing, but whatever. Good on him. But yeah, no, been really good. Now we got the shirts. We're getting into sort of a groove with Riley as the lead. We've also got Softy running the skip position with his power glove. What can I say? It's been really good. There was one week where we actually tied the winners of the night, and it only came down to a count back on on ends.
It was on ends 1, yeah, which is fucked. Like, it was completely rigged against us. I think we should stage an uprising against the administration team. Guy's team is called Unbiased, but he's clearly biased. It went to not his team, but I still think it was, completely rigged now. We just got pipped at the post on that one, and that's okay. Because, like, the thing is, right, like, if we can get to the point where we're losing on countback, that means we can win it for real.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And I think we're close. We're definitely very close. And also, Riley did just post. So, Night Owls goes till the 20th of March. So, we've still got, like, what's that? Essentially, like, 2 months worth of Night Owls left. Yeah, basically
2 months worth left, yeah.
So, about eight weeks, which is great.
Yeah, I reckon at some point in those 8 remaining weeks, we're up for a win. Like, we're due.
Yeah,
like, we've sniffed it a little bit. If we can put it together, just for those, what do we play, like 6-7 ends? I reckon
7, yeah.
Yeah, we can do it.
I think so.
Yeah, up the bloody mighty Terry termites, and not the Terry's termites, not Terry with an I. Terry termites.
All right. During the holiday break, Riley and I signed up for a little open pairs tournament happening at Grange. Happened the day before New Year's Eve, and it was a great day. We got absolutely reamed by the seeding. Apparently, went up against 2 Premier side bowlers.
Yeah, it was not close.
It was
at all
not close. I thought we were getting close in the second, but that was just the Canadian club talking.
Yeah, look. By the time we'd finished game 2, what was the number we worked out? It was like 14 or something.
I think like, at the end we were at 10, and then we brought it up to 14 at the post during the prezos.
It wasn't close, and like there were a couple points, especially in that first game, because I wouldn't know if you play in the Premier League, if you just walked up to me and were like, "Hi, I play bowls." I'm like, "Cool, thanks, dude." 'Cause I just don't keep that level of attention on the various Premier Leagues and who's in and who's out. If I've met you, if I've played with you, I'll probably remember. Although the dudes that we played with on Sunday, I was blind. I have no idea. Absolutely none. I know one of them was like a scorekeeper for Saka, which is unreal. Like, he just does all of the like Adelaide Oval scorekeeping. Power to him. That's literally my dream job.
Yeah.
I don't know these guys just by their faces, and so when we're playing these games, I distinctly remember, like, oh yeah, these guys are a bit better than us. That was to be expected. And then just like at one point we dropped a 6 or something. I went, shit, we're in trouble here.
Yeah. Yeah, it was very evident sort of about halfway through that first game. It was like, yeah, we're definitely not going to the winner's rink after this game. But yeah, like, again, it was an awesome day. Like, shout out Grange for the day as well. I've been to a similar sort of thing watching Riley at Torrensville, which was also a really good day. But this one was obviously held by Grange, and it was a really, really good day.
You weren't even watching me play at Torrensville. I got dropped for that final.
No.
We were
there was
beers and hanging out.
No, there was a day that you played with Dicko.
Oh!
Yeah, I'm a good friend, you fuck.
Wait. I played with... What?
I'm so confident that there was a day that I went to Torrensville. There was... I'm pretty sure you played with your dad or something.
Oh, fuck. That might have been the Anzac Day pairs or something.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was the Anzac Day one. Yeah, I'm a good friend.
Yeah, they do a good day out. No, because like Jimmy also came to see me when I was out at Torrensville supporting the old Grange team when Torrensville won this division last season. Playing against Torrensville, hanging out, having a good time, and I'd been dropped for that final, so I was just sinking piss and hanging out, and then we ended up going to the Port versus North trial game at Thebe Oval, literally next door.
Yeah,
like half cut. I bought the stalest donut I've ever purchased in my life. That thing was a rock.
Yeah, well, I drove past and Thebe is no longer, so...
Yeah, R.I.P. But New Crows stuff, it's happening soon. I can't wait. Just to finally get out of that fucking construction site at Westlakes, because there's nothing there anymore. It's literally just like the field, the like small Crows offices, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like there's a hanger and shit, but like that's neither here nor there. But yes, I realized at a certain point during that trial game that we were sat like 3 rows ahead of Ken Hinkley and all of the Port coaching staff.
Yeah, that was good. I was a bit, I wouldn't say starstruck, but a bit flabbergasted. Riley couldn't care less as a Crows fan. So
hey, he has a commanding presence.
He does.
He carries himself with this like gravitas. And like, look, for all the like shit that Crows and Port fans have against each other, like we're very good mates. And like, you know, yes, we will give each other shit during like showdown or whatever. But like, you know, I have a lot of respect for the program that Port Adelaide runs. You know, I think they're very effective at building a club culture. And I think that Ken Hinkley and the way that he carries himself is a big part of that. Because he walked through the stands a couple times. And you could just see that how, like, cool, calm, and collected he was about everything. Just like, you know, this is, you know, these guys' opportunity to really impress me and show me that they should be playing for my team, not for the SANFL team. I distinctly remember this. We're completely off topic, but I don't give a fuck because I enjoy this story. We got to a point where I was like, this has last 30 seconds heartbreak written all over it. Because it was like a massive tussle the entire
close.
day out. And it was all square going into the last 2 minutes of the game. And North just broke free, got a nice little corridor up, and kicked a goal with like 10 seconds of the match remaining. And Hinkley was leaving right before he took the kick because he'd seen enough. Not because he was like upset. I think he just had better shit to do than, you know, watch the very end of this reserves game that was about to finish. And he starts walking down the stairs. And I'm like, go well this year. And I didn't realize, I don't watch his fucking press conferences. His voice is a lot more nasal than I was expecting it to be.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't sure if it was a bad day or whatever, but the thank you really fucking caught me off guard. But no, fucking power to him. People are coming for his job, but I think he's alright. Keep him for 10 more years.
Oh, fuck off, please. Okay. Yeah, back on topic. We'll move on to the World Indoor.
Yeah, we'll go back to CC and Dry real quick because... Like, we sank a lot of piss on that day. It was just, like, constant rubber arm. We were buying, like, 4 at a time, just, like, going for it. And we worked out that somewhere around the, like, 6 to 8 CC and Dries is the threshold where we play good. Like, where our inhibitions are gone and, you know...
confidence is high.
Exactly. And then we got to the 10 number and it all sort of fell in a hole and we lost 23-5. But, you know, I'm now doing the alcohol content checking now because why not?
1.2 a can?
Yeah. We'll say it's 1.2s and we'll actually do it properly next week. But, yeah, 1.2 by 6. So we're like 7 to 8 standards in and we're bowling pretty well. By the time we get to the 12 number, we're cooked. Absolutely
all
cooked.
All bets are off.
Yeah. But yes, we reckon that there is a pay-to-win index for lawn bowls. So essentially, we want to work out where it is the cheapest to drink 6 CC and Dries and thus absolutely park the fuckers on. So we're doing a bit of data collection, and I hope... that with the massive response this pod's going to get, you know, we're going to have scores of people all around the country listening. We want your CC and Dry at your club bar prices. Send them through to parkitonpodcast@gmail.com and we'll make a nice little spreadsheet and we'll do a little like Australian map of where it is the cheapest to pay to win lawn bowls.
Or comparable if you're, for some reason, your bar doesn't have Canadian Club. Something that's 1.2 standards a can. Could be a beer.
Yeah. Sure.
I mean...
I was tempted to say fuck off if you don't get CC and Dry, but like...
I mean, that's fair too, but...
Yeah. No, like, if you could have a 1.2 drink, as long as you tell us what it is in the message, otherwise we will just assume it is a CC and Dry. Also, sidebar, we are not sponsored by CC and Dry in the slightest. Shall we move on to the World Indoor Bowls Tournament, Jimmy?
Yeah, absolutely. So the tournament was pretty much swept by the Scots.
Up the Scots!
So, yeah, open singles, lady singles, open pairs, mixed pair, all Scottish, either singles or pairs, and then one Brit amongst the masters of Ian Bond. But Jason Banks, man, loves to get around it, apparently, the big fella.
He had a week
3
to
out
remember.
Of 5.
Well, I say week, it went for like 16 days, so really 2 weeks.
It felt like it didn't end. And the draw was really weird as well. Like, so my main way of keeping up with this tournament was weirdly through the Wikipedia page, because the actual draw website was formatted so poorly that I found it easier looking at the brackets through Wikipedia. But yeah, really weird draw. Like, randomly it'll just be like, oh yeah, it's open singles second round, game 1 and 2. Ladies singles final, and then like open pairs first round, seeds 6 and 7. And it's like, okay, like there's just no, like, for me at least, there's no logical order there, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, like running a bowls tournament is a logistical nightmare at the best of times, because, you know, often people enter multiple divisions, as our dear friend Mr. Banks did, and won fucking everything. Power to him. But yeah, it was sort of hard to follow at times, being like, well, this is a different format going on here today, a different format rolling through. And communication around the tournament as well, if we're just going to get onto the gripes real quick. Pretty bad. It was just sort of a match would pop up on YouTube, and then we'd watch it and be like, that was sick. And then we'd realize that like 10 other games had happened that either weren't like streamed or had been streamed, but was just like not at all advised as what was going on.
Yeah, I think everything was streamed, but like it was just so hard to get to. Like, again, like for me, just the idea of like, I want to watch, you know, Alex Marshall versus David Bolt, and then I'd have to like Control F on the website to try and find when they're actually putting it on, and then it didn't. I then had to do like a converter between like Australian Central Time to UTC, because they don't have their own like website that does that, and then it's just from a punter's perspective, just really hard to find out what's going on. Yeah, lots of Scots and lots of Brits at this one.
Well, it was held in
Hopton-on-Sea.
Norfolk. Yeah, lots of British competitors, but there were some people from our neck of the woods. We had the mighty Aiden Takarua. We had the mighty Aiden Takarua from New Zealand representing our brothers over the ditch. And then we had 2 Australians, Blake Nairn, who lost to Darren Burnett in the first round, and Darren Rowland, who played one of the matches of the tournament, Jimmy.
It was unreal.
It was a cracker, and we're watching it, you know, live, chatting away, and just every single end that each competitor won was just so well placed. I don't think there were many bad bowls in it at all. Yeah. It was fantastic. Went to a tiebreak, and of course our man Dazza won it in the tiebreak. Good on him. But there were people from South Africa in there. There was some people from some Southeast Asian countries. Like there were some Hong Kong and Malaysian players. It was really, really cool.
Couple of Aussies in the open pairs as well. Unfortunately, getting knocked out in the first round. But another New Zealand pair getting to the second, but then getting outed by, unfortunately, Banks and Stepney, who went to take out the entire thing. But
the eventual winners of the tournament, power to them. But yeah, shout outs to Tamara Arnold and Wesley Nielsen, Anthony Ouellette and Chris Smith. Blake Nairn came in again. He played with Sean Maudsley in the open pairs, lost in the first round. I think that's all the Aussies and the New Zealanders. Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, Banks absolutely ripping it up in that tournament. Looking him up, doesn't seem to have any sort of other big things. Like been in some European championships. Been in the last this one and got a silver in the 2023 World Indoor as well.
Yeah, it was his first time taking down the tournament. There's a lot of bowls knowledge that's sort of very siloed. Like, you have to know the right people that know the right information to get to it. There's not a lot of, like, this is where you go for bowls results available. Like, Wikipedia sort of bridges that gap somewhat, but bowls information reporting has a long way to go.
Yeah.
Now, I have a couple gripes about this tournament.
Okay.
Of Jimster.
Go on.
First and foremost, Beth River, the Scottish lady that won the mixed pairs with old Jason. Do you know when she was born?
When's that?
2003.
That's fucked.
Absolutely fucked.
That's crazy.
For context, we're both born in the 90s. Beth absolutely crushing it at like 21, 22 years old. Just cruising in there and taking a mixed pairs title and making it to the finals of the ladies singles as well. It's not fair. Stop being better than me. Genuinely well done. That was really, really cool to see. It's hard to follow like how old absolutely everyone is in the tournament because, you know, not everyone has their own Wikipedia page. And again, this is siloed information of like Scottish and British and Hong Kong bowlers. So it's hard to like know exactly who's the youngest or whatever. There were the Youth Indoor Championships just beforehand, which I didn't watch, but I'm sure that they did a really good job as well. Bowls, you know, the youth programs are doing all right. You know, there's a lot of very talented youngsters rolling these oblate spheroids, and power to them. But yeah, stop being better than me. It's not fair. But I have an actual gripe. The seeding in the tournament, like, we got fucked on the Sunday pairs day, but that's just like a local like club day out. You know, a bunch of people come in. Sure, some people are going to cop a few Prem bowlers. And honestly, we probably should have copped a Prem bowler in there just because of, like, you know, in the first round, like, you typically play people that are further away from you, and then you sort of find a better match the second time through. And, like, I know for a fact that not everyone there was a Prem League bowler, so I don't really think that we should have played two at the thing, but that's neither here nor there. The ladies' singles seeding put Kath Rednall, the defending champion, a record 6-time world indoor singles champion, I'll have you know, against Julie Forrest, the eventual winner, who was probably second seed, in the first round, which is just fucked. Like, that can't happen.
Yeah,
you need to put them on
crazy.
opposite sides of the bracket. You know, I understand there are schools of thought that say it has to be totally random and you have to beat everyone, but, you know, if you're looking at a spectator sport, there has to be weighted seeding in these things, because otherwise you're going to end up with shit like the best, one of the best. I wouldn't say it was the absolute best game of the tournament, but it was a bloody cracker. You know, Kat Rednall versus Julie Forrest happening in the first round, which is a real shame. You know, like, we should be seeing the absolute best of. Although the final was pretty good too. It went to a tiebreak. I think all of Julie Forrest's singles matches went to tiebreakers. So she certainly beat the best. But it's just disappointing to have the defending champ against probably the only other person that would have reasonably, on paper, going into the tournament. Like, what happened is what happened, but, like, if you're looking at that list of names beforehand, they're probably the two that you'd say they're the ones that will take it out. Yeah. And they play each other first round, which is a bit of a shame.
And you can see it too in the results. Like, that's the only one in the first round that went to a tiebreak, and the other two were pretty short up on both sides.
Yeah.
Like, I think the idea of random seeding works better when you've got like 8 rounds. But when you're doing a first round, a semi, and then a final, I think you're probably better off looking at, you know, sitting down and crunching some numbers rather than, you know, pulling it out of the...
Yeah. Well, like, I'm pretty certain that this is a, like, you have to qualify for this, like, and you get invited.
Yeah.
So, like, they know they're good bowlers and they know the quality that they're putting on. So, like, do the extra little bit of work and seed the tournament properly. That's all you got to do.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I think that's about all we have for the World Indoor Bowls Tournament. Great matches. Look them up on YouTube. Check them out. But Jimmy.
Yep.
Do you know what the next thing on the run sheet says?
Yeah, I see Jimmy's surprise, and
it's Jimmy's surprise. That's right.
Made me very scared.
So Jimmy, I have a big question for you. On Sunday, the 23rd of February, what are you doing?
Sunday, the 23rd of February. That's a great question. I'll have to have a look. I'll have to have a chat to the missus. Why is that, Riley?
Well, you see, at the Sunday Pairs Day, we were chatting with a couple of the fellas after we'd finished, and one of them suggested that perhaps we consider entering something.
Oh no!
And so what I've done is I've signed. I was going to sign you up for this, but unfortunately you're not a club member, so I wouldn't have been allowed to. So instead, on the 23rd of Feb, I will be playing in the Sports Centre State Singles Lawn Bowls. The draw has not come out yet, but provided we get permission to talk about it and film it, and by get permission, I mean if they say no, we'll talk about it just off to the side. I'm playing some State Singles action, so if you wanted to come on down and check out the podcast is in action. Once the draw gets released, I'm sure everyone will know about it and they'll know who I've got in my sights. I really hope it's not anyone from Novar Gardens, because they're really good bowlers, and that is the only reason why I don't want to play them. Anyway, moving on. Fuck, Novar Gardens have copped it today.
Just copping strays.
They're not even the club that I hate the most.
Yeah, that's redacted.
Yeah, anyway. So... Blank Bowls Club, and then just censor bars. No. So I'm playing some State Singles on Feb 23rd. But also, Jimmy, there is another surprise. I have 2 surprises for you.
What?
Not just one.
What?
I know. So, Jimmy, this has a little bit of audience participation, and by audience, I mean you. I would like you to please get a random number generator up.
Yeah.
And I'd like you to have a string anywhere from 1 to 229.
So 1 to 229, yep.
Yes, please.
158.
158, very good. So, Jimmy, at one point, I pulled into a used bookstore, and I found this absolute cracker of a textbook. It's by a man called Ian Schuback. It's called Bowls, Biased and Uncensored. And so, here for you, I have a little tidbit of wisdom from page 158 of Bowls, Biased and Uncensored.
That's an unreal book. Holy shit.
It's a great cover, eh? This dude is really accomplished. And to be very clear, I'm not making fun of you, dude. We're from different generations of bowls. I had no idea who he was. I just saw a lawn bowls book and bought it. Cracker book. I genuinely really am enjoying reading through it. But yes, on the subject of fours bowls, which is the format that you play in Pennants, the game of fours is chess on grass. And so you can look forward to more nuggets of wisdom from Mr. Ian Shuey Schuback next week on the Park It On podcast.
Yeah, right. Looking this guy up, he speaking of the World Indoor, like one men's pairs in 88, one men's singles in 92, one men's pairs in 94, and men's pairs in 96.
Yeah, he's
gold medal in the Commonwealth Games, 1990.
Yeah, man. He's a very accomplished man.
Unbelievable.
Bloody power to him. He was an Australian coach for a long time. Got an OAM for his services to bowls. Bloody good on him. And this book is invaluable information. It's also out of print. So I think I'm okay in disseminating some of the lines from it. This is where we receive a cease and desist from his
Mr.
his legal representations.
But yeah, so as Riley said, we got a little bit of a sort of call to action. So we do have an email. It's parkitonpodcast@gmail.com. And what we want you to send through for that one is, firstly, our CC and Dry prices for the pay to win index. I realised after I said other drinks will be cheaper than Canadian clubs. So
yeah,
I think Canadian clubs, and if you do something else, like we can have like a secondary ladder, but we want the CC and Dries because they're just good on a hot day.
Yeah, primary source CC and Dry data, if you can get it for us. Everything else, also very good, and we'll take it and we'll plug it into the spreadsheet, but just on a different page.
Yeah. Now I see you've got here rules cues, so you want some questions about the rules of lawn bowls?
Yeah, like send through any little rules questions you got. I'm very fortunate to play at Grange Bowls Club, which is over 100 years old. Has some of the very best umpires in South Australian lawn bowling, and they're a very good resource for funky rules situations. So if you had a bit of a grievance and you don't want to pay the like $20 complaint fee to your local bowling association, I don't know if that's the case for other bowls associations, but I know in Metro Bowls you have to pay a fee in order to make a complaint about how something happened. So we're like a free outlet for you to just have a whinge about the rules.
Just be unhinged, I reckon. Just go
absolutely ham. The longer the email, the better. Yeah, like if you have some funky rule stuff that's come up, or you just want to share a cool little thing that happened, and this sort of goes into the other one as well, if you got a funny bowl story, let us know. Maybe we'll read it out. I would really love to get the lawn bowls equivalent of the eye poke story from TGC.
Yeah.
Bowls has a lot of very funny people in it. I reckon we're going to have a few that might just make the grade there. But yes, that's the first episode of the Park It On podcast. How good.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll be back next week. I'm not sure what day this will come out. I'm going to try and edit it tonight, so hopefully it comes out on Thursday, but if not, it'll be on a Friday.
Yeah.
But yeah.
End your week. Get ready for your Saturday pennant bowls with a bit of the Park It On podcast on all good podcast platforms.
All right. Well, I'll let you sign it off.
Beautiful. Well, it's a massive thanks from me to you, Jimmy, in particular, but also to everyone that's listened to me dribble shit for an hour. So it's a thank you and goodbye.
Cheers.